and welcome to another exciting episode of the Newspaper Review on TAP TV. I'm your host, Sophie John, and with me in the studio today, I have Mr. Victor. Mr. Victor, how are you doing?
I'm all right. How about you?
I'm wonderful. I'm so glad to have you with me today
Okay,
to
thank
review
you.
the newspapers.
Thank you. I'm so happy to have you here too.
Mr. Victor, you look really good. Can you tell us your secrets?
Um,
You need to tell us some of your secrets.
Sleep and drink water.
Sleep and drink water. Are you
yeah.
sure?
I mind my business.
Are you sure?
100,
Because now, right now, the economy, the way it is, we have a lot to complain about.
Yeah, the
but
economy has
seeing
never
you,
been good. The economy has never been good. Right from the days of John the Baptist till now, it has never been good. So what I do is I sleep and I drink
you
a lot
drink
of
water
water.
and you mind your business.
Yes.
Very important. Thank you very much for joining us
Thank
on
you,
the
thank
show.
you,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much. All right, viewers, welcome back. We just needed to have a little chit chat and everything. All right, we dive into our newspaper of interest today. First of all, we'll be looking at the Daily Trust newspaper. The first headline of interest, the one written boldly on the Daily Trust, we have National Assembly cracking APC as Adamu rejects Bamidele, Ndumi and other principal officers. National Assembly cracking the APC as Adamu rejects Bamidele, Ndumi and other principal officers. This is on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. We also have a sub-headline on page 4 that says, Senate President, Speaker have our backing, progressive governors. Senate President, Speaker have our backing, says the progressive governors. We also have a sub-headline too, how minority leaders emerge. How minority leaders emerge. You can find that on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Then on the Daily Trust newspaper on page 24, we have no presidential directive to reopen additional borders, says custom. No presidential directive to reopen additional borders, says the custom. Then on page 15 of the Daily Trust, we have Presidential Tribunal. Tinubu tenders U.S. varsity visa documents. Presidential Tribunal. Tinubu tenders U.S. varsity visa documents. That's on page 15 on the Daily Trust newspaper. And on page 8 of the Daily Trust, we have Court affirms Kojo's dismissal from the APC. Court affirms Kojo's dismissal from the APC. On page 4 of the Daily Trust again, we have IPOB enforces sit-at-home order in Ebonyi. IPOB enforces sit-at-home order in Ebonyi. Then we also have sub-stories here. We have dad sues son for stealing stepmom's money. Dad sues son for stealing stepmom's money. And on page 25, we have Sweden Jazz Bank to disburse 1.2 billion naira matching fund for MSMEs. Sweden Jazz Bank to disburse 1.2 billion naira for matching fund for MSMEs. Then the last story on the Daily Trust, we have era of single party domination over, says INEC. Era of single party domination over, says INEC. That's on page 15 of the Daily Trust newspaper. So, Mr. Victor, I would like you to give us your thoughts on the story. IPOB enforces sit-at-home order in Ebonyi. What do you think will be the effect of the economy, on the economy rather, of Ebonyi State with this sit-at-home order? Because this morning we saw a lot of videos of what we saw. It was over social media, a lot of videos of what is happening around Ebonyi this morning, and it was really saddening. It was an eyesore to see IPOB members, supposed IPOB members, to see them demolishing people's businesses. What effect do you think will this action have on the economy of Ebonyi State?
Yeah, it will be so down. Mind you, Ebonyi has been doing their best to make the round around the southeast region. In fact, that the government of what's his name again? Their former governor, Dave Umahi. Thank you very much. He really impacted in the state's economy. For the past 8 years, one might be like, oh, come on, can anything good come out from APC? Although he moved from the PDP to the APC. But for me, personally, I think he did an excellent job in Ebonyi State, because we see Abakaliki people as hawkers. We really do not see Abakaliki people as people that have will I say, some level of ego and prestige. I'm not talking about pride. I mean, okay, you might even say some elements of pride, but what am I trying to say is that just like back in the days when you see an Akwa Ibomite, you talk down or you look down on the person.
Okay.
But now the governor, through his power, has did a whole lot of goodies for the state, and it is showing in the lives of the people out there. Back in the days, the whole of this Aba Road in Port Harcourt, 90% of the hawkers there are from Abakaliki.
Okay.
But that has really brought back their people back home. There is education, there is
Okay.
commerce going on, just like what happened. Unfortunately, these, let's say, miscreants and agents of evil, okay, came to Isheke. Isheke is a very popular place in Abakaliki,
Okay.
and they caused so much mayhem and menace around there. And I don't know whether they reported anybody died. I pray that nobody died, but there was also a video. Sorry, I don't watch such gruesome videos, okay? But there was a video about a child that the mom left while she was running, while they were shooting guns.
Yeah, I saw that video. It was really sad to watch. It was really sad.
So you just begin to wonder, Nnamdi Kanu that these guys are preaching, why would you be attacking your own people? Why? Killing your... Oh, I saw a video of a guy from Aba that made a trip to Anambra State with his friends, and the guy was killed.
Yeah.
He was killed, a young, promising guy. So when you see the news like this, you begin to wonder, this is not how Igbos are raised. Where are these
Yes.
animals from? Are these people really Igbos? But yes, when they are speaking Igbo, you will know that these guys are still Igbos. It's really, really shocking, okay? Now, what's the way forward? These guys are saying that they want Nnamdi Kanu to be released. And mind you, it is even a faction of the IPOB
Yes, yes.
that are doing this thing.
I wanted to bring that into the scene because we had a statement from IPOB that was last week, I think, or early this week. We had a statement from IPOB saying that they were not aware of any seat at home. There is a faction of their party and a faction of their establishment, and it was looking like they were a bit divided in a way. Like they have a point that is headed by another person and a division that is headed by Nnamdi Kanu.
Now, the what do you call it? Autopilot. Autopilot is the faction that led the IPOB, and they are bringing out these rules of sit at home. This sit at home for a long time has not come from that's Emma Powerful, who is known as the spokesperson of the IPOB.
Yes.
But this Simon Epa that is in Europe, is in Finland, is the one sending out these instructions. And you begin to wonder, who is funding Simon Epa?
Yes, yes.
Because
That's
the
the
kind of guns
question
these guys
to
come out
ask.
with, they come out with vehicles. You ask the question, how?
Armored vehicles is really
And they are
surprising.
they are in every state of the East. They are present in any state of the East. In fact, I was even hearing from a reliable source that even in Delta State, that they even have a camp. In fact, they have even started the motion that on Saturdays in some places in Delta State that you are not allowed to move because it is their Sabbath day. People are going mad. These guys are going, oh God. It's so sad. It's so sad. The economy of Ebonyi State, not just Ebonyi State, in fact, with what has happened, if you were embarking to just make a road trip around that region, you will just cancel it. And when I saw that video, I felt so down. In fact, I'm in a confused state
Yes.
as it stands.
It was really a sad video to watch. Thank you very much for that one, Mr. Victor. Okay, we move over to our next newspaper of interest here. We look at the Nigerian Tribune. On the Nigerian Tribune, leading the Nigerian Tribune, we have the same story too that was on Daily Trust. Presidential election court, Tinubu tenders educational record from Chicago State University, US visa. That's on page 15 and page 21 of the Nigerian Tribune. And we have a sub-story under that. To open defense today in Obi's LP petition, INEC closes defense, present documents. We have another story on page 8, UTM score controversy. How Mesama was helped to manipulate results, jam alerts. We have a story on page 28 again. Robbers storm Mina Palace, shoot 2 guards. We have another IPOB story on page 28 again. Sit at home, gunmen burn police van, dispatch traders. Sit at home order, gunmen burn police van, dispatch traders. We have another story on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. Adebuti tenders 8,000 documents against Abiodun before trial. Adebuti tenders 8,000 documents against Abiodun before tribunal. We also have a lead story on page 15. Makinde present as Afenifere leaders meet to unite Adebanjo and Fasorati. Makinde present as Afenifere leaders meet to unite Adebanjo and Fasorati. And on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune, we have 2023 elections, why INEC won't respond to EU's report, Atiku and Obi says Yakubu. 2023 elections, why INEC won't respond to EU's report, Atiku Obi says Yakubu. That's on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. So, Mr. Victor, I would like you to comment on the story on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune that says 2023 election, why INEC won't respond to EU's report, Atiku Obi says Yakubu.
Yeah, so for the first time in a long while, we saw the head of INEC, the chairman of the body, coming out to make a press statement.
Yeah, it was really surprising.
Yeah, really
Because
surprising.
there have been no appearance from him after the election, no statement.
Yeah. So, yes, he does not want to make a comment. And just what I think he's following the steps of the presidency. Okay, he did not want to say something that might alter the rejection by the presidency. But they also, as in INEC, also made some points yesterday. Those points were that some electoral offenders have been that they are going to face justice very soon.
Okay.
That the police has collected data. The police have finished their investigation.
Yes.
It's now time to prosecute them. Okay, and the INEC chairman made a whole lot of points yesterday, and I think it's something to look into. Some persons might be excited, but am I excited? Outside, I don't know about you. Okay, so but I've been an advocate for the INEC to give us names of electoral offenders.
Yes.
Not just only INEC, but the police. And not just about giving us those names. We need those names to be prosecuted. So that if you are found guilty, you should go out and face the wrath of the law. Okay? So, and he also made a point, Professor Mahmoud, he also made a point about the returning officer for Adamawa State, who we had that shocking news in the morning of a day after the election, that he came out to announce a result just by himself without calling
the INEC as a body.
Calling everybody, the stakeholders together. He announced the result, and at the end of the day, the result did not favor Bita. That's the APC Adamawa Guba candidate. So I'm even surprised that the man did not leave the shores of this country, because his case was just so peculiar. Okay, that I'm not here to judge him. Yeah, he needs to go to the court and face his case. Okay, but from the writing on the wall, you will notice that you will see a man that he was will I say, pushed to do what he did, be it pushed by financially or by otherwise. Okay, but yes, it is very, very important for these electoral offenders to face the wrath of the law. Okay, we have those cases that happen in Rivers State. I wish they can get us
in Rivers State. Yes.
I wish they can get us names, published names of those persons that want the Igbos in Lagos not to come out and vote. Both in Lagos, it also happened in Anambra.
Yes.
It also happened in Rivers State. So whether you are working for APC or for Labour Party or for PDP, or for the fact that you threatened voters okay, from coming out to cast their votes,
Yes.
to do that which the
To
Constitution
express
has
their
given
rights.
them the right to do. You need to face the wrath of the law. So we are waiting. But in terms of, I'm also not satisfied with the INEC chairman because he did not make much sense about the IREF matter.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
was like it felt like he was dodging it.
He was dodging that part.
Okay, but somehow, it might even come from the point that see this thing is in court. Leave it for the court to finish. That's the excuse there. So yesterday, seeing him yesterday, I was even sure that this man that your matter is in court. What are you doing here? But lastly, I need to also make this point. It is not so nice that INEC will just have one witness
Yes.
in the tribunal. It does not make sense to me. I don't know whether they think that the tribunal is a playground. So imagine had it been it was not politics that we are talking about real life matters. Are you going to just come with just one witness? That shows that you do not care about this
About what
tribunal.
happens.
Look
Yes.
at what Peter Obi and LP and PDP.
PDP.
The number of witnesses that
They
they
have been
brought forth.
bringing in.
Now it's for the APC and the INEC to defend themselves, and they're just coming into one witness. Meaning that these guys don't they're taking the tribunal like a playground.
Okay, Mr. Victor, I would also like you to talk about Tinubu and his educational records rather, that he brought out. Finally, after all the social media calling out, everybody has been saying you didn't go to this school, we want to see it. Finally, we have seen his educational record from Chicago University. I'd like you to share your thoughts on that.
Okay, he submitted them and the court admitted them. But the question there is, we need to also allow the judges, okay, or the court to do their own findings, do their own checks, background checks and all that. And at the end of the day, we will now know whether those certificates are really true certificates
Okay.
or they are forged certificates. There's a whole lot of news going around Tinubu right now. And it's very, very unfortunate to do that. Most of our leaders, or many of our leaders, when you go and do background checks of them, you find out that there are many gray
Glitches.
areas of things that you will not find out. Just like somebody like you, I can go out and find out the primary school you went to. It is in the public domain. If I want to go and find out, I can go and find out. But go out and look for Tinubu's primary school, or you just be confused. But it's very, very unfortunate. But like I said, let's wait for the court to vet these evidences. Mind you, Labour Party submitted the one they had. The APC also have submitted, through Tinubu has submitted theirs. Let's see how it goes.
Let's be hopeful. Thank you very much. All right, we're going on a short break. When we come back, we'll be looking at our newspaper headlines. Thank you.
Hey there! Are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
Welcome back. This is still the newspaper review. I am your host, Sophia John, and I am with my Mr. Victor. I just called you my
Thank
Mr.
you.
Victor.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be diving back into the newspapers. We'll be looking at the Vanguard. That's our last newspaper for today. Written boldly on the Vanguard, we have insecurity. We will assure Nigerians, NSA assures. Insecurity, we will secure Nigerians, NSA assures. That's on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Then the sub-story on the Vanguard, we have, that is also on page 5, we have work as a team and deliver. Tinubu charges security chiefs. Security chiefs won't fail Nigeria. We also have a story on page 8 of the Vanguard. We have MBA to sue FG rather over vehicles proof of ownership fee. NBA to sue FG over vehicles proof of ownership fee. That's on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. On page 13, we have negotiate with ex-bandits. Negotiate with bandits, ex-governor Yarema urges Tinubu. Negotiate with bandits, ex-governor urges Tinubu. On page 7 of the Vanguard, we have JAM Mesoma trade words over results. And on page 9, we have Presidential Tribunal, INEC not ready to defend its case, says LP lawyers. Presidential Tribunal, INEC not ready to defend its case, says LP lawyers. On page 27 of the Vanguard, we have 10th National Assembly, tension over principal officers as lawmakers resume today. Tension over principal officers as lawmakers resume today. And on page 13 of the Vanguard, we have open defecation. Nigeria needs 3.9 million toilets annually, says UNICEF. Nigeria needs 3.9 million toilets, says UNICEF. On page 11 of the Vanguard, we have Southeast needs new direction, says Igbo leaders of thought. Southeast needs new direction, says Igbo leaders of thought. On page 6 of the Vanguard, we have 9 rescued, 11 trapped as 4-story hotel building collapses in Abuja. 9 rescued, 11 trapped as 4-story hotel building collapses in Abuja. On page 20, we have bread producers serve notice of imminent hike in price. Bread producers serve notice of hike in price. That's for our newspaper headlines for the Vanguard. So, Mr. Victor, let's do the story on page 27. 10th National Assembly, tension over principal officers as lawmakers resume today. So you can share your thoughts on that.
Okay, so yesterday, principal officers were announced in both chambers of the House, be it green, be it red chamber of the Houses. And there was tension in the House, especially from the APC.
Yes, we saw a lot of stories. The APC coming out to say, we didn't choose these people. This was just IPOB's initiative. So there was a lot of tension.
Yeah, and the chairman of the party said that this was more like a rumor to him. That he went to the social media and he seen what is happening.
It.
So more like he was not informed. Well, politics and politics. Things like this, are they bound to happen? I will say yes. Because the chairman of the party must have also forgotten that the leader of the party, who happens to be the president, is above him. And yes, he also wants to put up some level of leadership to show that, see, I have the right to also put in my 2 words to appoint my own quota. I think so. Okay? And also maybe to also advise on who should be selected as principal officers. But I need to also say this. Was it shocking to me that the majority leader of the House, in the name of Bamidele Obeyemi,
Yes.
is it shocking that he's the majority leader? The answer would be no.
Okay.
Because you would see him everywhere Akpabio was.
Yes, yes.
He was working tirelessly with Akpabio. And this man we are talking about is the 5 and 6 of Tinubu. So who else do you want to fill in that position at the end of the day? And even in the tribunal, he is the only APC candidate that has comfort to defend the president.
Yes.
And his background has also made way for him. This is not his first time of becoming a senator. And he is a renowned lawyer. Has a chamber in the US, has a chamber in Nigeria. So, what do you expect? So, in his own case, I think it's not news to me. Okay, but the shocking news for me was seeing the governor of Ebonyi State, David Umahi, becoming the deputy majority leader of the Senate. Why is it shocking to me? Because he is just a first timer. But one will also see his commitment during the campaigns of
Period.
during the campaign both for Tinubu, in as much as yes, he came out, he wanted to become president, mind you. Let's not forget that. He wanted to become president, and when he saw the heat was too much, with all his other Igbo colleagues or Southeast colleagues, he had to step aside, okay, and embrace Tinubu. But during the time for election for the leaders of the Senate, you would also see him. He was very, very vibrant. He supported Akpabio. And see, at the end of the day, you and me would always want to work with people that I align with.
Yes.
And I see that as what has played out. Even Ali Ndume from Yobe State, that even wanted to become the Senate president, had to even withdraw. And look at what happened to him. They gave him the chief whip of the house. So, down to the matter, the APC leadership, especially that of their chairman, Adamu, he should not cause a rage or start causing trouble. Because at the end of the day, it is decent people that will come together and take him out from that position that he is privileged to be right now. But let the day go on, because at the end of the day, what we should also be looking at for is leaders that will be able to have the heart of the people, not just their party.
Yes.
The common man on the street. What regulations, what policies are you going to dish out at the end of the day?
That will
it
affect the lives of the common
positively
man.
the life of the common Nigerian out there?
Wow. Thank you very much for joining me on the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's a wrap for the day. Thank you for following us from the beginning to the end of the show. Thank you. I'm your host, Sophia John. Remember to like, subscribe, and follow our page. Thank you very much. Bye.